In this video, I'm going to show you how Tarkov's most hated map, Lighthouse, is actually a gold mine for meta ammo, gear, and great loot. This is what I got in just one trip. See what you can get if you follow my exact route. So I've run this route both in PvP and PvE as both the scav and as a PMC. So I can definitely confirm this route does work. Right now, I'm just doing a scav, and we spawned into the chalet, which does have a lot of loot. It's usually where everybody goes for loot, but it's not the best place for all the loot, especially meta ammo. Since we are here, you saw me over hit the floating body. That is one of the best places to find some rare loot, such as golden eggs, golden coins, such as GP, Bitcoin, etc. All kinds of stuff here, as well as the theater seats. Have sometimes really good loot, but you gotta be careful that there's PMCs often in this area, as it is a high value area. Now, in this case here, I'm just gonna get a quick little angle here. You can get a cheaper angle if you are stuck in here when you're looting, or the run to your face and try and charge you like an idiot. Now that we have quieted things down with our boomstick here, there's a couple areas in here that you definitely want to look at. The table, the ironing board table here, usually does have something of higher value in most cases. The shelving unit opposite of said table, also on the very bottom, can spawn bitcoins and other rare streamer loot. This table also does have lots of spawns of other rare items such as vertexes and graphics cards. I've even found a few here. Now, you also keep an eye on the chairs because they also can spawn the loot. It's not just going to be on the table with the new changes that they came out with in patch 14. Then you can check the tennis court for more loot. You're typically going to find gun pods, actual guns. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of ammo. You won't have a lot, but it's usually not too bad if it does spawn ammo. At least from what I have experienced so far. It's usually when stuff is pretty main for mid game or late game, such as M80 in that case, but I've also found M62 there and M61. Now, the main route to get to the actual spot that we want to go to, the secret sauce, if you will, is going to be starting here on this rock, on this giant rock, aka a mountain. It's where all the snipers love to hide, and it's also a good place to actually get ammo, which you wouldn't really think of how am I gonna get ammo here on the top of a rock. Well, there's this little secret bush, little tree, whatever you want to call it. Over here spawns ammo constantly. Look at that, M62 right there, FMJ, SFX. There's sometimes even 2 grenade boxes here, which, you know, spawn ammo around themselves and ammo inside and grenades inside. So once you get to that little giving tree, if you recall, you're going to go down the side of the mountain, check the crate. Just make sure you hug the coast here. Now in this boat, you can also sometimes find rare loot as well as, you know, hideout needed items. But you're just going to keep going through this little coastline. And there's sometimes a body here, you know, a scav body you can check. Then you're going to just keep following the coast until you see these tents. In these tents, you want to search the entrance, because they do spawn gold chains and other, you know, valuable loot. Not this time. I found 3 gold chains there, which I needed that for chumming, which was great to have. Then you just keep going and going. You're going to also hit another little cheeky spot right here. It's going to have, again, more ammo. Look at that. It's AP. VMAX is trash. And a potential weapons crate. This isn't always here because, again, the dynamic loot changes. But it does have a good chance to spawn in majority of the cases. And it always usually does spawn with ammo if it does spawn. And then you just follow this left to the side. Now this is the grotto where you can escape as a scav. But there's more to it than that. If you keep going around, you're going to see this little blue car. This blue car also does spawn items. Sometimes food, other times ammo. Those have been the 2 biggest things I have found around that car. Sometimes there's 3 spawns, all the way up to 5 I have seen. Then you're going to follow the tree line here, and you're going to go between this rock. Now this is going to protect you from the PMCs and rogues, which are going to be going crazy in the treatment plants. And you don't want to deal with that. You're just here to get some money and get some decent ammo so that way you can then go ahead and kill the rogues. Now, on to that point about killing the rogues. If you use this route as a PMC, you can definitely bring along a sniper rifle because you're going to have fabulous angles to snipe the gunners of all the rogue buildings one at a time. And in most cases, you're going to be avoiding the PMCs that are just doing exactly that, but they're doing it from the front. They're not going to see you coming from the back. Now, this lumber yard or this train yard, whatever you want to call it, I've heard it called multiple things. This is the hidden gem that a lot of people do not pay their attention to. You get actually really a lot of goodies in here for some place that's largely uncontested, very limited spawns, and it's right there by 2 extracts. Now on that box right there, the ammo box, usually is an ammo spawn with 3 to 5 spawns as well for ammo types, and usually it's pretty good ammo when it does spawn. You can also find some food here, so that way if you do make it all the way to the back, you can fill up the tank, so to speak, and not have to worry about running out. Ooh. In the warehouse, you're typically going to find your standard, household goods, if you will call them. Now, sometimes you can find rare loot in here, household items such as, an M cable, and I have even gotten super lucky once to find a military power filter in here. Now, I've only found that once, so it's probably a very, very low chance of spawning, but you can also pick up other needed items such as the cyclone, which sells for a good little chunk there. The train does come, or if the train does come when you're here, you want to check the first car, because that's also going to be part of the route, and it has a potential to spawn a large weapon crate. Now in this instance, we got a little unlucky with no weapon crate spawning here. We got actually unlucky in a few spaces. But if you run this route often enough, you're going to see that there is a lot of stuff here hidden in this area. Now I'm looking around because I am paranoid. And due to being paranoid, I found this train here which also does randomly have ammo spawns. Now 856 is trash. I'm not going to want that, but that's SOST. I'll definitely take that. Let me get rid of that. 856 is just garbage. Anything good in here? I do need some hideout items. You can always see that based on everything I have a ton of meta ammo, ton of AP rounds, and we've only gone just a smidgen on the map. We haven't even gone to a lot of the main areas. You can also find hideout upgrade materials that you need back here, such as the giant sledgehammer, the hand drill, the actual little electric drill, and more which you can use to upgrade the hideout or use for your crafts. Now I'm going to show you there's also a cache that sometimes spawns behind this trailer, I guess you call it. Now at the end of the trailer it does spawn some ammo, which right now nothing too fabulous, but the cache is a hit or miss. It's going to be by the back fence by one of these bushes. I think it's either here or it's going to be on the other bush that's over here is where I've seen it spawn. Again, it tends to move sometimes or not spawn at all. So nothing there, no spawns, unfortunate this time. Then we're going to make our way to the lab with one quick stop on our way there. The quick stop I'm referring to is probably one of the better places in all this lumberyard because it has a chance to spawn rare items inside either one of these smashed up crates. But then nothing there this time, but you're also going to have ammo spawns, which again, we've been just trying to get as much ammo as possible, and it's actually pretty decent ammo. So let me go ahead and just try and find a little space here. Boom, and that's BP. That's BP, even better. Now this crate here does have food rations typically in it. That's just more trash ammo that spawns at the back of this Connex. Anything good in here? Oh, I'll take some herring. That sounds yummy. And sugar, which is going for about 100k right now on the flea. So that one sugar has already paid easily for most of what I have on me. And then we have more ammo spawns. Ooh, 7 and 40. Ooh, what do I need to drop? Drop the money? No. Oh, so it's not a 60, it's a 50, 120 round. Okay. So then let me just make some more space here, and that should fit nicely just in my pouch. Any other ammo spawns? No. And then I also stopped by these little boxes again. More ammo spawns. Nothing this time. Kind of unlucky. But we're going to finish off with going into the drug lab. You know, everyone loves the drugs. And that's also included with Russians. Crazy gun-wielding Russians, apparently. Now, here you're going to find, you know, your L1 nephephrine, which I probably butchered the spelling, or the, not spelling, the saying of that. But you're going to find rare stims here, such as mules. I have found the L1, which I needed for samples. You can also find basically every kind of stim, except like the P22 I have found, or like some of the really rare ones that are only on labs. A lot of stims do spawn here. Morphines, etc., and trimidols. Just keep checking these couches, the chairs. They also have a chance of spawning rare loot. This table here by the, I guess what it's supposed to be bonsai trees. In these binders, you have a chance for intelligence to spawn. And look at that. As I was speaking about Trimidol, we found it. And by this little floor here by the generator, you also have a chance of finding more stims. Now, the stims can also be on the table. There's a lot of stims in like small locations in here. So you have to check all the tables and basically the ground on the edges of the whole little drug lab there. That's going to be most of the spots I always hit if I just want to make a quick buck for the Lighthouse route. Now, at the end here, this is where you can exfil for, if you're not taking the train, as a scav, as long as you have not spawned on this side of the map. Sometimes I'll check these little concrete blocks over here. You can sometimes get loot that you might need. I'm trying to find some fluorescent light bulbs, which has been a pain. And there's a cache that does spawn back here again. With the new update, the dynamic looting, the cache isn't always consistent. But we might get lucky. And we did. We got a actually decent helmet. That's about 20 grand that I just got thrown in my head. And we're out. Now, let's see what this actually looks like once we have all this mess and we convert it into our lovely rules, aside from what we're going to keep. You know, the propane I'm probably going to keep. The ammo I'm going to keep. And, you know, the hideout items that are glowing except the keck tape I'm going to keep. Just because, you know, I want to upgrade my hideout. So we're going to sell everything, we're going to sell all the gear, and we're going to see how much money I can actually make from this one run, and show you just how easy it is to make almost 1 million rubles, if not more, just on a single run. It took us, what, 15 minutes? Now, after selling nearly everything that we don't need, and just keeping the ammo, because I know I'm going to end up using it, which is saving money down the line. Once we get done with this is how much, and this is what all profit came out to. So a bunch of metal ammo, about 800,000 rubles, which is a little bit on the low end, because we did get unlucky with some of the spawns here, with not actually having anything in it. Now, on a high end, I've made about 3 million rubles in a single raid. On the low end, this is pretty much what it is on the low end. So before BSG nerfs Lighthouse, you need to go ahead and pick up this route and give it a shot yourself to let me know how much you make per raid. I'm curious to see if anyone else has this great luck, or if maybe I'm just blessed by the BSG gods. Till next time, I will see you in another one. Stay howling, my pack.